What is the most important feature of a database? To store data regularly or to access it? 9 times out of 10, you're going to be accessing the data more regularly than you would be storing it. Chapter 8 of Oracle's 12c SQL explains an important part of querying data that adds on to the select statement. If we want to sort our data with conditions from our database, we have to use what's called the where statement. This allows us to pull up entries that match the column we specify. An example would be a large database filled with tons of students. What if we're hosting an event called the Big Barbecue, and we really want to make sure that we invited every student from the state of Texas? What we would do is we'd pull up a list of students by saying select email from students where state equals Texas, as this will ensure all students from Texas have their emails shown. Another example would be if we have an event where we want honor students only. We can use the statement select first name and last name from students where GPA is greater than or equal to 3.5, which will ensure that all students with a GPA of 3.5 or higher get invited to this event we want to host for honors students. We could also use less than to bring up students who have a less than 2.0 GPA so that we can email them about tutoring hours at the library or something like that. We can also filter out all results of a particular property by using the not operator if we wanted to exclude anyone for any reason. Another thing we can do is we can use math in our filtering check. So let's say we have our profit column of inventory and we want to show any item that makes up less than 20% of profit because we're running low on money for costs in the business. We can use the statement select item number, cost, and profit columns from our products table where profit subtracted from cost is less than or equal to cost times 0.2. What this will do is it'll check and say, hey, is anything less than 20%? Another form of sorting we can do is to gather a range of results between X and Y values. A way we would use this would be, let's say we want to see our products that have a sale price between $20 and $30. We can literally do this by saying select product name, sale price from our products table, where sale price between 20 and 30. We could also do this with letters, where we'd only put results that show between letters A through F in our products table. And if we want to be more specific, we can utilize not in, which allows us to specify an array of elements to check against. We can utilize logical operators further by putting and between condition checks for our query. It would look something like select a column from a table where the column equals some condition and another column equals some other condition. We could also use the or for the same purpose. We can even have long strings of these in a huge succession for if we want multiple different types of conditions. We can also check for null values specifically. We can organize our data with built-in sorting if we use the order by column tag. We can also change it to descending order by adding DESC after the column we want to sort by. The next portion is a bit of a difficulty jump. It gets into the topic of regular expressions. We first need to set up our statement by using select column from table like an expression, and we're going to need to fill in the expression part. By using an expression, we can kind of sift through all of our entries with a specific pattern that we would give it. There are 2 characters that we can use in this regular expression style argument that follows the like statement that we can utilize. So if our entries do not contain the exact letters we put in, then we won't get any results. An example of using these patterns would be, let's say we want to pull all of the items in our inventory that begin with the letter P. Well, we'd first put the letter P, and then we'd have to think about all of the rest of, a product name that could exist, right? There's all these characters that come after each of the product names, and the raw form of them are characters, right? It could be numbers, it could be symbols, it could be anything, but we specifically want to just look at characters. So we'd use the % symbol immediately after the letter P, because that tells our database that the first letter is P, and we can have any number of characters characters after the designated percent symbol. If we move the percent symbol to the other side, then that means, hey, any entries have to end in the letter P, meaning that there's any number of characters before this letter P to exist, and P is going to be the last letter of our entries. And what's really cool is we can surround the letter P with 2 percentage symbols, which basically say, hey, I don't care about how many characters are in front of or behind the letter P. All entries just have to have the letter P in it somewhere. That means we're going to get all of the responses that start with the letter P, end with the letter P, and have a letter P somewhere inside of it. The second character in the regular expression style argument is the underscore symbol. What this does is it specifies that there must be that exact number of characters in each entry. An example of it would be, what if we wanted to find a string that was only 4 characters long and start with the number 1? We would follow it up with 1, then an underscore, another underscore, and another underscore, making a total of 4 characters. We wouldn't have any spaces between any of these characters, so it would look like a straight line to some people if they're using a different font type or something like that. What if we wanted to just have 4 characters, regardless of what they are? Well, it's actually not too complicated. We would just replace the 1 with an underscore. For whatever reason, let's say somebody put in a percentage symbol in the database as one of our data entries. Now we have to go and find out where this person put it. This would obviously be a very complicated situation, very specific. We use the percentage symbol in our pattern statement here, so it would be extremely difficult for us to actually find it with our regular like and select statement. So what we need to do is we need to use what's called an escape character, which basically means that the next character after it will be treated like a regular character and not a command to search for. So if we wanted to actually show this, it would look something like this mess, which would be like \percentage, and then we'd have escape, and then put the / symbol, which basically means that our escape character is the \, and the next character would be the percentage symbol, which basically means this is the character that we're actually looking for. There's a lot that's going on in this chapter, and I would honestly suggest to everyone to take a look through the chapter slides and try it out for themselves on their own local databases. Using patterns in your select statements can be really helpful for any sort of programming that you're wanting to do automatically.